I took a stroke in April 2015. Pre that, I had been a frontline police officer, very fit and active, 35 years old. But it was an Easter Monday 2015. I took unwell at home. My sister called an ambulance which took me to my local hospital. But it was there then I took a massive seizure and had to be transferred to the Royal Victoria Hospital, where it was diagnosed that I'd had a huge clot in my brainstem, and that had caused a massive stroke. Stroke's really devastating. I used to think that it might affect a limb or not very much else, but stroke for me was devastating. It took away the movement in every part of my body. It took away my speech, my swallow, and just the simple things like taking a cup of tea or being even remotely independent was something that became alien. Stroke recovery has been really slow. I had massive input initially from neurophysio, where I had 5 neurophysios trying to get my brain to engage with my body. I had speech and language therapy every day for 7 months, and I had occupational therapy. When I was discharged from hospital after 7.5 months, I was in an electric-powered wheelchair, and my speech was still very poor, and stroke recovery really had to become my full-time job. Stroke recovery continues to be very much a part of my life. I would still have an input from neurophysio and would have reviews of my condition in Musgrave Park Hospital. I think for most people, when you have a stroke recovery is lifelong. Damage to the brain, it has many effects. It affects everybody differently. It can leave some people with fatigue, other people with weakness in their limbs, speech difficulties. So for every person it's different. For me, it's ongoing with my speech and with my mobility. So I had a mechanical thrombectomy in the RVH at 10 a.m. in the morning, which retrieved the clot that had discharged into my brainstem, and that restored the blood flow to my brain. Because Easter Monday is a public holiday, the service wasn't available at that time. So my local hospital called the RVH, and the doctors agreed to come in out of hours to perform my surgery. The surgery was performed outside the usual parameters. It was recommended that time that thrombectomy be performed within 4 to 6 hours. So I had my surgery 8 hours after the clot had been discharged into my brainstem. If I hadn't had the surgery, I would be dead. Neurologists tell me that now, and if I had have had the surgery in a more timely fashion, if the surgery had been available 24/7, most likely I would have been discharged from hospital the same day with little to no effect from the stroke. For me, because I didn't have it for at least 8 hours after the main clot discharged in my brainstem, and during that time my brain slowly began to die, I now live with significant disabilities every day. Had I had that procedure so quickly, I wouldn't have disabilities. So for me, I'm amazed that 10 years post-stroke that thrombectomy isn't available 24/7, because it does save lives, it prevents disabilities, and it does save people's brains.